my desert island drills, to drop down before everything starts working. The impact zone, you can come out the other end a much better golfer. Create some ball turf. Want to create a bit more of a shallower path into the ball. Speed with the hands and arms. Does this off their back leg. During this impact zone, you can really improve your golf. Turning that right hand over the left. There we go, that felt better. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett, star of the show. It's pretty normal, keeping an eye on things back there. And welcome to an autumnal but quite nice day in the middle range here at Chestfield. Today, as you can see from the thumbnail, the title is my desert island drills. If you've been to the channel before, you would have heard me say about these desert island drills. What are they? We're stuck on a desert island, we've got a million golf balls, we've got one club. What can we do before we can get rescued and come out the other end a much better golfer? And the great thing about these desert island drills, it's not only going to help the area you're focusing on, but it can help other areas as well. I call it the one thing that cures four. Right, so I get the back camera set up. I think his lordship's okay down there. I'm going to tell you all about them. Okay everyone, thanks very much for joining me, and in the meantime, his lordship's having a bit of a sleep down there, don't blame him. Right, so if you've been to the channel before, you would have heard me mention about these desert island drills. It's just another way to, what are my favourite exercises to give you to, like I said in the intro, not only help a specific area, if I can say it properly, but also help other areas as well. I'm a great fan of the one thing that cures four. If you focus on one move, it helps other areas of your swing without you knowing it. And if you're stuck on that desert island, you've got to make sure you've got to do these exercises correctly, because if you do, you can really improve your golf. Let's get going with the first one. The first one's the hit and hold exercise. I've got an 8 iron. If you complete your follow through and stop halfway through, right arm parallel to the ground, obviously if you're right-handed, and for you to get in this position, halfway through, kick in, head still, arms down the line, pretty extended, with my left arm still, you can release. The sequence before that, you would have had to get in the correct sequence before that to get in this position. You can't make a bad sequence to get in this position. So hit and hold, you can stop here, knees touching, head nice and still. If my head is still, my eye line, my shoulders are going to be pretty passive. So I'm not going to move my shoulders like that too much because of my head being nice and still. It's a great one to educate your hands and arms. Nice and light, you can make a full backswing, kick, head nice and still. It's not really result based because I haven't even seen where it's gone yet. You can see how many studs I've got. Club can be looking up, or if you want to pacify your release, you can keep it, extended out in front of you. All depends what you're trying to achieve, really. Nice coil, kick, head still, really educates the hands and arms, body, legs, everything to be joined together. Because remember, the golf swing, it's made up of more than this, but the golf swing's legs, body, arms and hands. This exercise is to drill all those components together. If you told me to hit balls for half an hour and I needed to finish like this, to get in this position, I would have had to do something wrong previous to that. And this is where the hit and hold is beautiful, because it sorts out your sequence and it sorts out your order. So to get in this follow through position, a little bit more release that time, to get in that position, I would have had to do a nice sequence coming down to the ball through impact and beyond. It's easy to hit it too hard. There we go. It's a beautiful exercise to do into a net at home. If you've got some air balls, if you've got a bit of a garden or a bit of astroturf, into a net at home, you can stand there and just make practice swing after practice swing, but with a golf ball. This is the secret to this exercise. Practicing my hands coming down, because they have to. I can't go too early, you see. It's going to pull my head up. So the one thing that cures four, it's going to automatically make your arms drop in the slot a little bit more. Keep a bit of angle if you can. Beautiful. If you want to focus on a bit of backswing whilst you do this, I always recommend pointing the club up, left arm parallel, the club's pointing up. You don't want it too flat and back here. So it just makes life a little bit easier to allow this club to drop down and through. Remember, my knees kick in, it's a little bit exaggerated, but head nice and still, kick in and follow through. From there, you can start lifting up if you like. I'm not going to go into the next phases of these drills, just going to start with phase one really, but you can start swinging through. What does your finish feel like after you stop at this hit and hold position. But remember, the secret is to not swing it too far on the follow through and not hit it too hard. But number one is the hit and hold exercise, an absolute beauty for good sequence and good order throughout your golf swing. Right, on to the next one. Right, on to the second one, and the second one's the drop down. There's a few variations of this. I've got the actual drop down driver drill where I'm really pumping the club on the floor and dropping it on the floor. This is a little bit of a different variation of that. It's like the gravity drop exercise. What we're doing here, we're just allowing the club arms to fall out in front of us from the top of the backswing. So we're just dropping everything down, a little bit of exaggerated, bit inside here. Good for you golfers who are a little bit over the top. From here, what you're going to do now, you're going to learn to release the club back into the ball. You can start turning your body there as well, because a lot of golfers from the top of the backswing, as we know, they get a little bit too active because they want to try and hit it too hard from the top with their body. What this is doing, it's training your arms, hands and club to drop down first. From here, you can start turning through. Oh, it's going to hit the 50 mark, beautiful. Now, if you want to encourage a bit more release with the club head, from here you can keep nice and passive with the left shoulder and feel the club passing you more, kind of like the hit and hold exercise we just did, allowing the club and arms to swing past. That's if you want to try and get rid of your slice, put a bit more draw spin on it, use a bit more club head. Or if you want to kind of keep it neutral, same thing, we're dropping it down, little gravity drop. Secret behind this is get the club behind your hands here for you over the toppers. From here we're going to turn everything through as well as the club head. So we're just matching up the release and the body. There's no right and wrong, just got to make sure you do it the right way for you. A different variant is if you're hooking the ball, you want the club and arms to come a little bit more out in front of you. You can see the club is a little bit more out here instead of that way we just did. From here we're just going to turn through. So there's going to be a little bit more out to in terms of path. Still waiting for it, nice and passive with the shoulders. From here we're just going to cut across it a little bit and keep our body turning through, right hand open. A little bit more loft, exaggerated really, but that's how you put a bit more slice spin and neutralize that hook. Go back to the original drill. So on the top of our arm, we're going to squeeze it here, keep the club behind you, nice and light, let the club go, beautiful. If you do this too much, the ball should pop out to the right a little bit if you're dropping the club under plane, which that one was there. Backswing, down, wait for it, don't move anything, keep it nice and light. Again, it's not a distance exercise, it's not really a result-based exercise really, it's just a mechanical order and sequence exercise. You're practicing and allowing the club and your hands to drop down in front of you. From here, whatever your release looks like, either a bit more club head past your head, or then you can start rotating everything from here. Generally the golfer who over the top and cut across needs a bit more club head catching up with hands. Basically what a little bit more release. So the drop down exercise is an absolute beauty to train the hands and arms to drop down, and club obviously, to drop down before everything starts working. A little bit of exaggeration is always good, because once you pull the pin first tee, hopefully a little bit of that will be layered into your swing. So the drop down exercise, gravity drop exercise, whatever you want to call it, what we're doing here is we're training those hands and arms to drop down first. An absolute beauty and one of my favourite desert island drills. Okay, on to the next one. Not sure how many I'm going to do. I'm enjoying myself, so I'm just going to carry on. And the next one is an academy favourite actually. It's feet together. You probably would have realised I'm probably going to say feet together, but hitting balls with your feet together, so very, very narrow, now you're losing your base. So you're not able to now move around. Too many golfers have too much lateral motion. What I mean by too much lateral is if your stance is normal width or a little bit wider, is it allows your body to sway around too much. Now there has to be some sort of lateral motion. Just by the twisting of your body there'll be a natural lateral weight shift anyway, so I'm not asking the golfer to stay on their left side at all. So there is a natural weight shift, but it's not done by moving around. You can see how much your head moves around from side to side. I prefer the club golfer, recreational golfer, all the golfers into their senior years to create a little bit more natural speed with the hands and arms. So if I wanted to create that badminton snap down there and move that shuttlecock, I'm not going to do it with my big muscles. I'll generate a little bit, obviously, but I want to generate that speed down there, and you can see just by a movement of that, I'm not moving at all, and I can create quite a lot of speed down there. So I call it less is more. So there's always a right and a wrong way to do it. You're timing it so the hands are kind of still holding on to the angle, and now you're releasing it. Release means you're basically turning that right hand over the left, but you're not doing it up here. From here, I'm going to really feel like my right hand's going to roll with my head being still. I've seen too many golfers try and do this right hand, and they do it with their shoulder because it's easier to feel. So I'd like you to just do this feet together exercise, working on that. A little bit of hinge, hold the hinge, and from here we're really going to focus on that right hand rolling over. Keep nice and still with the head, and nice and long. So if you've got the right release snap down there, the club head should start folding into the back of your neck. Oh, it's one of the best exercises you can do to educate your arms, hands and club to swing. Too many club golfers do the opposite. They swing their body too much. Remember, very, very narrow now forces you to stay nice and passive with the body. Swing the club more with your hands and arms. Beautiful. A little bit of kick in if you like. You can see how still my head is there. Make sure you create some length by hinging. That's the secret. Hold on to that hinge. So this is a timing. There's a little bit of mechanical feeling here. And from there, we're really going to snap our right hand over. Remember, feeling your palm basically going from looking at you to looking behind you very quickly. Remember, with a hand only, not with a shoulder and head. That produces natural length. You can see there, I didn't work at bending my arm or folding the club on my neck. It happened for me because of what's going down, what's going on during this impact zone. So I'm basically going from my hand, obviously in grip format, looking at you to looking away from you in a very short space of time. It's that exercise I did on the channel, that video, where I was snapping the wrists. We're really focusing on our hands, really snapping our wrists, what I call in the internals, the impact zone. And the feet together exercise, look, even if you don't do it absolutely perfect, even if you stand there, good balance, just swing the club long either side of the ball. If you do that, you're going to introduce more efficiency to your arm, hand and club head swing. And I think for the recreational golfer who wants to create a bit more consistency, especially off the grass, a lot of us are used to hitting balls off the mat because you can get away with a little bit before the ball. This exercise, the feet together exercise, if you do it properly, if you follow the guidelines, can be a real game changer to increase that natural speed. And not only natural speed, it can create better strike as well. Okay, let's get on to the next drill, which I think will be the last one because this video is going to be a bit long, I think. Right, this is called the lateral shift. So shifting in our transition and on the way down has a massive effect of what this club's doing. Yes, I've given you drills today to really encourage this club to drop down, but if you do this shifting wrong, or if you spin off your back leg, this club isn't going to drop down. Doesn't matter how many Justin Rose exercises you do, if you do the shifting wrong, it's not going to work. And a lot of club golfers I see spin off their back foot, exaggerated, they come down and their weight does this off their back leg. So you can see their back foot does this, especially for pitching, because you're trying to lift it up in the air. Not great. So the shifting is basically our pockets and knee going towards a target before we twist. Remember, you want to reverse that twist first and then correction there. You want to try and shift first. Then from here, you're in the position to either let go, if you want a bit more draw, or you can start pivoting from there. All depends what your release looks like and what your shot shape wants to be. And the secret to this one is we're just going to shift our pockets forward, kick off the inside of our shoe, right knee coming in. And the secret to this is to keep your head where it is. You're not moving your head with it. So there's the separation. You're working on a bit of separation here. It's like the hit and hold drill. Nice and light. Focus on the pockets going forward. You can see the white stick there. And if I wanted to draw one, that's what I would do. And the ball just drew then. So if you want to guarantee this club to drop down in the slot, one of the engine rooms for that is to get your centre working lateral. before it starts twisting. And the centre is your belt buckle, your belly button, your pockets, everything moves towards the target, and that gives the club and your arms a big hole to fall into. That's exaggerated, but that's what I would do, like I said, if I wanted to hook one and draw one and put some right to left spin on it for me. This is absolutely a fantastic driving feeling for everyone. But if you're a golfer that's a bit steep and over the top, want to create a bit more of a shallower path into the ball, just find your pockets. You can do this as a little exercise from your posture to impact. You can see the difference here. I'm shoving forward, there's a little bit of open there, but mainly there's a lot of lateral sway. You can see that I'm keeping my head relatively still, allowing my right arm to kink in. That's exaggerated, but I'd rather go for here than here. Keep the club looking at the target, we're not opening it. Down, beautiful. The only thing behind that ball is probably a little bit of my upper arm, shoulder, and kind of a little bit of my leg there. Beautiful. Okay, let's feel that position. Little lateral shift, head still. Oh, wow, that was squeezed and a little bit of a draw as well. If I was walking behind someone at the range or on the first tee, I'd want someone to do this, because the majority of club golfers don't. They've got their feet on the floor and they've got too much top half motion. Nice and passive. You won't be able to get there, but just a little bit of this shifting, head still. Beautiful. Look at that, hands ahead. Create some ball turf. Okay, let's leave you on a good one. You see the white line there? Let's really get my pocket into that right side off as well. Really push through. Okay, I'm just going to hit another one. So it just went a little bit left. The club just flicked past me. Let's try another one. Really push through with my pockets and knee. There we go, that felt better. So like I said in the intro, it's a bit silly, the old desert island analogy, but there is method in the madness, because so we have our continuity of practice, especially away from any course playing, because the course, we don't really want to think about anything like this. They're here for you to layer into your swings. So you don't have to think about anything on the golf course. Probably just a feeling or two, no more than that. And I'm not saying this to impress you, but I've done the same exercise for the last, going on my 12th year now, I think it could be 11. But people who know me back in the day, I used to have 11 swing thoughts around, probably more. So having that continuity really kind of stabilizes and puts good foundation. Doesn't guarantee results. Golf's not that easy, unfortunately, but it just gives you a little bit more stability. So like I say in many videos, movement brings feeling. So if you do a few hit and holds, well, you might think, oh, my right knee's coming up a little bit more, or the feet together exercises, well, that feels like I'm really swinging my wrists or my hands a little bit more. So the movement will give you the feeling of these exercises, but these four are really a good stable base to really improve other areas of your swing without you knowing. So I think the video is long enough now, so I think it's time to go. But thank you very much for your support. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch. And not only that, for a small channel like this, every view, every like, every comment really means a lot. So thank you very much for your time and your support. Okay, so for myself, Trev, and a quite nice day in the middle range at Chestfield, we bid you farewell. Thanks once again for your support, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio!